Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and this is my February seedling tour. I got a little bit late. Work just got in the way, but that's just life. And so I thought I'd show you how everything's doing. I have a lot of perennial seedlings and a lot of cold tolerant plants, pansies, violas, and I just wanted to show you how everything's looking and then kind of my thought process as to what I'm going to be doing too. So last year I got this idea that I grew pansies and violas last year, but it just got too late for me to plant them out and they just got overgrown. I had to give them a haircut and I never got them to bloom for me. They were doing great, but it's just my zone, the weather's so changeable that I just can't safely plant them in the containers outdoors and just leave them. I would have to cover, and even at that. So I went to the greenhouse last year and they actually had them in these pots, and I thought that's a fantastic idea. I can just pot them up into here, and then when I can start putting them outdoors, because they can take the cooler temps, I can just bring them back and forth. And if the night times dip below freezing, I can bring them indoors really quick, and just this way they can still be grown on, get established, and look fantastic. So hopefully this works a little bit better and I can have some blooms for spring here. And then I have 5 containers out front these will be going into. When I can safely plant them in the pots, I'll just be sinking them in. But until that point, I will just be putting them outdoors on the ground for the time being. These are really small. These are ones I got from last year, so I'll think if I want to plant some in there. I don't know. And then I have a really big one here, and I did get this from Greenhouse Megastore, and not sponsored, but this is going to go in that big metal urn, and this is the biggest centerpiece one that I have, and it's not going to be easy to carry in and out, but it'll be fine. And yeah, so it does fit in there, and I might even leave it in there for the summer annuals too. So fingers crossed, and that way I get some blooms. And then over here, most of the lights are raised for just viewing purposes. They will be lowered once I'm done. And then this top rack, this is the only heat mat that is on. And so I've got coleus cuttings over here. And then I have my last effort at getting begonias to germinate, nothing. I had 2 that have germinated out of 72, and they look pitiful. And so if you have any tips and tricks, I would love to know, but I have been unsuccessful that way. And then I do have a Verbena Bampton here. I did a second tray because I have a hard time with Verbena germinating, but on that note, I did have luck, so I've got one elsewhere. I just sowed this one yesterday, and this is Salvia Blue Monday Sage. So I do have some seed packets out that have the pictures on it. The rest I will link in the description down below. And then down here, these are all just Lisianthus. So the tray on the end here, and then the 2 over here, I have to fertilize with water-soluble fertilizer. I'm using Miracle-Gro at half strength once a month. And then this one here, I had just kind of broadcasted seeds in a seed tray. And then I pricked out this Lisianthus, but I did put them into a potting mix with slow release fertilizer, and they look fantastic. I have it labeled, so I do not use a water-soluble. I just don't want that much fertilizer on my plants grown indoors, but they look great. This variety here, great germination, Rosanne Black Pearl. This is ready to go out, like really ready. I do have a raised bed where I have some PVC pipes where you can put them in there and kind of create a little bit of a hoop house, but that will probably be closer to April. So I have at least another month, and they're also on the bottom rack here because it's a little cooler cement floor in my garage. So hopefully that helps. And then this is Rosanne Brown. Unbelievable germination. And then that row there with the blue tape is Rosanne Green. So the Rosanne varieties, I had the best germination, and I'll probably stick with that. Over here I have the Voyage Apricot, which had horrible germination. That's mainly in the front here. But then the other ones that are labeled, that was more of the Rosanne Green, and that one, and then in back, the Black Pearl, and then I had a Voyage Green. So again, the apricot, not a lot. And I didn't even have a full packet of 50 seeds. So then over here, and this is just the Voyage Green. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference is between them and the Rosanne. That one is ready to be potted out. So biggest thing with these is, like I said, I do have a little fertilizing schedule that I have listed because I'm horrible at that, but it is only once a month and they look great. It's not like they're going yellow because of, so yeah, it's a lot, but Lisianthus you can plant pretty close together. Right now, the only annuals I have growing for my summer containers are over here, and then I have some extras on the other rack. And so had 100% germination on this Pelargonium. This is, I think, the Maverick Multibloom Salmon, and it looked really neat. So I wanted to try it. So they germinated within 2 days on my heat mat. And that being said, so they've been grown for a bit. I have not fertilized them. So I potted them up yesterday in a slow release fertilizer, and they should do fine. That redness should go away. They're the bottom leaves, but I had that issue last year and it resolved itself. So they look a little bit tough, but give them about 2 weeks here and they'll hopefully, fingers crossed, because this is a huge display for me. So yeah, so and then here, just understand I'm a 4B. So this is invasive in a lot of areas, not me. These are annuals, freeze will kill it. They may self-seed, but again, I also have very wet growing conditions. And then this is the feathergrass ponytails. And a lot of times, if there's a certain plant that is invasive in your area, they won't even ship you the seeds. So I'm hoping I get plumes this year, otherwise it's pointless growing it for me. But isn't that gorgeous? And I just think with the Verbena Bampton, it will be a stunning display. Again, a little bit late on getting them potted up, and then I have not fertilized. There is a slow release in here. So they're a little browning, if you can see that. I'm just being honest with my growing. And then over here, this is the Maverick Salmon Pelargonium. And got beefy little stems, look at that. And they'll be good. Hopefully for my March tour, it'll be a different look to it. Plus, these are not their forever home. They'll be grown here for a bit, but they will be transferred into probably those 4-inch containers. And then that'll be their last bumping up before they get planted out. So I have 32 in this tray. I don't need all of them, but it's just if some don't work, I need a certain amount for my containers. And then down here, this is a perennial. It's looking a little bit weedy. This is a Saponaria. I will be honest with you, if I need the shelf room, this will be the first to go. But with it being a perennial, if the temps stay above freezing for the lows, I can just get these hardened off and then they can stay outdoors. I really don't know where I'm going to plant them quite yet, but not too bad. I probably will come in here and just give it a haircut. I've got a lot of growth in the middle here, but I was hoping that they'd bloom for me the first year, but I don't know. And then here, these are Palace Purple Heucheras. Most are doing really good. Like this one's great. This one is great. And it will stay in this container for a bit until it's really crowding out in there. I've been having some watering issues with these. They've just, you can see some are wilting back there. They're just shallow rooted perennials. So it's just, and then I have some other ones. I have 3 really nice, these are just backup because I grow a lot. This is a reliable Heuchera in my zone. It's just gorgeous. The Firefly here, I have 3 nice plants. This one's nicer. And then this one right here, and it is really warm in my plant room today. It's 70 degrees outside right now. This is the most beautiful, I mean, look at that, gorgeous. But then the ones in the back, not so much. I'm letting them dry out. We'll see what happens. So it's just growing from seed. You kind of, there's successes and not so successful. But starting from seed, it's still cheaper. And down here, I did do a video on this. And this is the Korean feathered grass. Absolutely love it. It will probably not throw off plumes for me this year, but it's just a beautiful grass. And it's really great for fall interest. But yeah, I mean, look how that's just grown beautifully. And oops, got some roots at the bottom. And then I did space them out to give them their own little tray here from the Delphiniums, because you can see the Delphiniums are doing great too. I mean, some of the leaves are, sorry, I hit the light here. Doing that a lot. Oh, look at the size of that one. But yeah, so a lot of times I will try and let my plants dry out between waterings, and I pick them up to feel them, but I also look at the bottom to see if that potting mix is still dark brown or kind of a black, and if it's a light brown, then I go ahead and water it. Otherwise, sometimes even if it feels light, like this one, that's still good. And just when growing indoors, less watering is better than over watering, which you can see, because it does take them a bit to dry out. Yeah, looking good. Again, these will have to get potted up into bigger containers. I'm hoping I can hold off for about a month. Oops. And then over here, this is Blue Select Fescue. I grew this from seed last year, and these are also backup plants. Rabbits do love it. That is the only downside, but other than that, it is an easy to grow grass. This steely blue foliage, and it's just, I mean, what can I say? Gorgeous. And this is one too where, if you can see, it's close to having to be watered. I only have 6 in a tray, and that's just to give it the most optimal room for growing, and air can get into there, the light can get into there. And then last year I just ran into growing too close together and then looking yellow at the crown here. So, and then this is the Bluesette Russian Sage. I had 100% germination. The seed packet said if started early, may bloom. Well, it's blooming, and it's been blooming since probably about the middle of February. I started in December, so honestly, this is a seed that wouldn't have had it been started till February, if not March, to tell you the truth. So it is looking a little I am cutting off these leaves that kind of look like that. This too, it's just kind of they don't grow as fast, or I shouldn't say, they're growing good. They just don't take up as much water. So I'm just making sure that these dry out before watering. And then sometimes it just, but it's fine. And then this too, I'll lift it like, oh, that one is ready to be watered if I can get it out. So I don't know if you can see that, probably not. So you see how light brown that is? So, all right, but I mean, look how beautiful that is. And this Russian sage only gets to 18 to 24 inches tall and wide, so it's just gorgeous. I'm going to enjoy the blooms, because if these plants don't make it, at least I enjoyed it for a little bit. Most of my lights are LED lights. These are the only grow. I have 3 of these purple grow lights, which it's a horrible color, and then it's just, once these go, they'll be replaced with LED lights. I see no difference. So these 3 trays here, this is the Antique Shades. It's the Nature Antique Shades Viola. Isn't that gorgeous? So probably I'm thinking about another week, and then I'll be putting those into those containers. So this is one I finally fertilized it, which was February 28th. So we'll see. If I don't get them potted up next week, I will have to fertilize again. There's not a whole lot of potting mix in there. But look at the germination, it's great. And then, so I'm just gonna show you this box here. I thought I needed a trailer. I didn't have a trailer for these spring containers, so I just went with this Alyssum Carpet of Snow. And I don't want to just buy 1 packet of seeds online. It's just not worth it. So I did go to the dollar store, picked up a box here. This is all they had, and then this is what I got. So there is, I think there's vermiculite in here along with the seeds. So I did 1 tray, and then also my mind got to working. I thought, you know, maybe there's an issue with the vermiculite and the seeds. There's maybe a different density. So you can see, I mean, good. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do 1 more tray. But I shook the box. Like, really shook it good. And then I'm glad I did, because look at that. And these are ready to be pricked out and potted up. I'll probably put these in egg cartons until they're ready to go out, but this I think I just started not even a week ago. They're really quick growers, which I'm happy about because it was kind of a last thought. We'll add in. All right, so you want to see the pitiful begonias? This, yay, I got another leaf. Like, that is crazy. This has been growing since, was this start of January? Maybe. Yeah. I lost the one, I had 3, but I lost one of them. So, fantastic. So again, tips and tricks I would love to hear. And then these are the Snapdragons that I did pot up. And one of the varieties is the Madame Butterfly Bronze White. I love the warm colors. I really do. And a lot of the varieties that I picked this year are warm. And then I'm still debating if I want to pinch them. I kind of want to get a bloom right away. I don't know. I know they'll branch out, but some of them are already starting. I could, like I said. I've got time to think on it. These will have to be potted up into trays that size at some point, but they're still growing pretty good. But isn't that great? And then I have fans going all the time, but I kind of give it a shake too to toughen up those stems. And then this one right here is the Potomac Berry Blend. Isn't that cool? Different colored stems and not knowing what I'm going to get. So yeah. But I might have to pinch them though, because my lights only go so far up and I have to make sure they fit. So that might have to be just what needs to be done. Over here, and this is the Verbena Bampton. And I did have the seed pack in the fridge for about a month, just for some stratification, and it works for me. But on that note, what I also did is, so once I sowed the seeds, they did go on, it was under this cardboard here for darkness, because it does say it aids in germination. And then I didn't get anything, and I didn't have it on a heat mat either. It was just my plant room 65. And I'm like, okay, I got nothing. Then I put it on the heat mat, and I still had it under darkness, and then I took off the cardboard, and then I just had it under lights. And then I decided to put it in the fridge for 2 more days, and then put it back on the heat mat just under the lights. And look, I was trying to stress it out, like really shock it, and it worked. I don't know, they're really little. This is the first time I've been successful getting verbena to germinate indoors. It's just, oh. So yeah, a little bit of effort, but it worked. And then 4 trays here. This is the Nature Mulberry Shades Pansy. So, looking good. I can't wait. And then down below, I have never grown this before. These are all ranunculus. And I'm growing them in these pots too because they like it cooler. So when weather permits and not on a day that it's can blow a tree down, they will go outside and will slowly get hardened off, and then hopefully leave them outdoors. If it freezes, they're gonna come back in. But I can't put the lights up anymore, so I'm hoping that they'll be fine. But I just have a pink and a white variety. Nothing special. I got these bulbs from Tulip World last year, I think in the fall. I didn't get them till December, and it was $6 for a packet of 25 in each one. So I thought that was great just to try it. They look really good. Biggest thing that I'm trying to do is just make sure to not overwater. Again, that is kind of the key with everything that I'm growing indoors, is letting it dry out between waterings. But I think I had only 2 bulbs that didn't make it. Otherwise, and these are extras, they'll probably go into those other containers, those Western pulp pots. And then I have one over there. There's a lot in that one. So it was just, I have a hard time getting rid of plants that look good. So yeah, when you think that entire row will be going outdoors sooner than later, and then that, and then that, and maybe the Snapdragons too. I don't know. They can take a little bit of cool. And then I'm just wanted, oh, I better go up this way. This is another plant shelf. These are just waiting for other plants. And then I have more pelargoniums up here, which is the salmon backup. And then these are just the coleus, the only one that I'm growing. This is Renee's coleus. That's what I'm calling it. Backup plants. These are the mother plants in case if the cuttings don't take. And then down here, and this was kind of a last minute decision too, because I was like, you know, I would like to have something other than blooms for a filler. So I did do a lot of other plants down here and just within the last week here. And also these two containers here contain kohlrabi that I'm going to be growing indoors. And then one will be potted up into here. So I don't know if I'm going to put it in there right away or if I put it in a little container and then, so I don't know. They're quick growers. So I'm still debating about that. I just don't like that much potting mix with a teeny tiny little plant. But so this first one here is the early purple Vienna. Looks good. I just love how, yes, the stems are purple, if you can see that. My sister loves kohlrabi. I do too. It's just growing it outdoors. Summer comes really quick and then they just tend to do nothing. In the last few years, it's been a drought. And also I have to keep them covered because what is it, those cabbage worms that love it. So it's a lot of work outdoors. But that one is this one. And then this one. And these are old seeds too. So I'm just really happy that I had some germination. Looking good. And then kind of like saying it, Superschmelz or giant white. I won't let it get to be that big. I don't like kohlrabi. I usually about the size of a little smaller than a baseball. And then I've never grown poppies before. This is an annual. And so this is the Imperial pink. And I did start this February 18th. And then I will thin to the strongest seedling. These grow really quick. I mean, when you think February 18th and then they already have their true leaves coming. I know poppies don't like their roots to be disturbed, so I'll have to be super careful. And then this next one here, I thought this would be great as a filler. So these are new seeds this year. This is the Outredgeous lettuce. You can see just a little bit of tinge on there right now. I'm not seeing a true leaf yet, a soon. I mean, they're so, oh, maybe right there starting. With the colors that I have picked up for the pansies and violas, I think it'll go really good. But this was an old seed packet, so that's why I did the Outredgeous lettuce in case this didn't germinate, but look at that color. And then, even though it was old, I had really great germination. And look, there we go. Super thrilled about that. So then this one, there we go. I have to have the right. This is another poppy. This was January 24th. This grows so slow. This is a perennial. It is Royal Wedding Poppy. And what it is, it starts off like that big. And then it takes forever. And then finally, it's like, okay, I better start growing. I did finally fertilize it. I'm still debating which one I want to keep here. I think I'll be that one and not that one just because those leaves look kind of yucky. But yeah, so they'll be staying in there probably for another, well, I don't know, week or two. But isn't this gorgeous? Because I've never grown poppies before, so I'm looking forward to this. I don't know if I'll get blooms the first year on this one. The annual I should. And then this I'm not growing many, and I'm thinking this would be great as a thriller in that really big container, and it's called a Yurok Kale, if I'm saying Yurok correctly. February 25th. So looks great. So yeah, so that is kind of what I plan on doing. A lot are for my spring containers. Some will have to wait a little bit. And then I have grown kohlrabi indoors before, and I've had great success. So I'm not, but they're just going to take up more room. That's the only problem. But like I said, a lot of these containers are going to be gone at some point and freeing it up for my summer annuals. So again, hopefully you enjoyed. You're having great success with your seeds. And then also if I'm having beautiful weather, you have to be having beautiful weather too. Just wanted to show you. I don't know, it looks like it's gonna rain. Oh, it's been a beautiful winter. I cannot complain. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's just, I know I shouldn't do that, but this has just been unbelievable. So hopefully you enjoyed, and bye for now.